words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says sometimes pain and suffering are means by which the soul is awakened and pushed forward to the divine. With always our love and blessings, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo Savitri, Book 3, The Book of the Divine Mother, Canto 4, The Vision and the Boon, page 390, last line. O radiant fountain of the world's delight, world free and unattainable above, O bliss, whoever dwellest deep, hid within, while men seek thee outside and never find, mystery and muse with hieratic tongue, incarnate the white passion of thy force, mission to earth some living form of thee. One moment fill with thy eternity, let thy infinity in one body live, all knowledge wrap one mind in seas of light, all love throb single in one human heart. Immortal, treading the earth with mortal feet, all heaven's beauty crowd in earthly limbs. Omnipotence, girdle with the power of God, moments and moments of a mortal will, pack with the eternal might one human hour, and with one gesture change all future time. Let a great word be spoken from the heights, and one great act unlock the doors of fate. His prayer sank down in the resisting night, oppressed by the thousand forces that deny, as if too weak to climb to the supreme. But there arose a wide consenting voice. The spirit of beauty was revealed in sound. Light floated round the marvelous vision's brow, and on her lips the immortal's joy took shape. O strong forerunner, I have heard thy cry. One shall descend and break the iron law, change nature's doom by the lone spirit's power. A limitless mind that can contain the world, a sweet and violent heart of ardent calms, moved by the passions of the gods, shall come. All mights and greatnesses shall join in her. Beauty shall walk celestial on the earth. Delight shall sleep in the cloud net of her hair, and in her body as on his homing tree. Immortal love shall beat his glorious wings. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, Question and Answers, 1950-51, date 10th Feb 1951. Quote from the Question and Answers of 1929, our Divine Mother says, "You must be able, if you're ready to follow the divine order, to take up whatever work you're given, even a stupendous work, and leave it the next day with the same quietness with which you took it up, and not feel that the responsibility is yours. There should be no attachment to any object or any mode of life. You must be absolutely free." And then our Divine Mother talks about these lines on the 10th of Feb 1951 and says, "Most people confuse liberty with license. For the ordinary mind, to be free is to have the chance of committing every stupidity that one likes without anybody intervening. I say one must be absolutely free, but it is a very dangerous advice unless one understands the meaning of the words free. Free from what? Free from attachments, evidently. It is exactly that. I am an expert in the art of self-control. If men congratulate me or praise me, it leaves me tranquil and indifferent. If they blame me, that leaves me equally tranquil and indifferent. These are the questions that raise in our mind." Our Divine Mother says, "Then try to question yourself to see to what extent you are above all blame and praise. Not that you must feel so superior to others that to what extent or to what they say seems to you of no importance. It is not that. It is that you have become aware of the general state of ignorance, including yours, and when others believe that something is good, it is not at all good or not good as that. And when they believe it is bad, you can say it is not so bad as that. Everything is completely mixed up and finally nobody can judge anybody. Therefore, you're completely indifferent to all praise and all blame." And the conclusion would be, so long as the divine consciousness in me or in whom I have chosen as my guru does not tell me this is to be done, this is not to be done, I am indifferent to what others may tell me. For I think that the divine presence is the one in whom I have put my trust, is capable of knowing what is good, what is bad, what is to be done and what is not to be done. And this is the best way of being free. Our Divine Mother says, "Let your surrender to the divine be entire and you will be completely free." The only way of being truly free is to make your surrender to the divine entirely without any reservation, because then all that binds you, all that ties you down, chains you, falls away naturally from you and has no longer any importance. If someone comes and blames you, you may say, "Oh, what authority does he blame me? Does he know the supreme will?" And the same thing when you are congratulated, this is not advice not to profit by what comes to you from others. I have learned throughout my life that even a little child can give you a lesson. Not that he is less ignorant than you, but he is like a mirror which reflects the image of what you are. He may tell you something which is not true, but also may show you something that you did not know. You can hence profit a great deal by it if you can receive a lesson without any undesirable reaction. Our Divine Mother says, "Every hour of my life, I have learned that one can learn something, but I have never felt bound by the opinions of others. For I consider that there is only one truth in the world which can know something, and that is the supreme truth. Then one is quite free, and it is this freedom that I want of you. Free from attachment, free from all ignorance, all reactions, free from everything except a total surrender to the divine. This is the way out from all responsibility towards the world. The divine alone is responsible. For this, the question from the child, Sweet mother, it is not possible. It is for the surrender to be total from the very beginning. For this, our divine mother says, Generally, no, it takes time. But there are instantaneous conversions. To explain all that to you in detail would take too much time. You know, perhaps that in all schools of initiation, it should be used that it takes 35 years to change one's character. So you must not expect the thing to be done in a minute. If one is to be indifferent, sweet mother, says the child, to everything, why are prizes given to children? For this, our divine mother says, you do not expect a schoolboy to be a yogi, right? Do you? I've just said that it takes 35 years to attain that and to change one's character. And then our divine mother says, you see, individual human authority, like the authority of a father of the family, of a teacher, of the head of a state, is a symbolic thing. They have no real authority, but the authority is given to them to enable them to fulfill a role in social life as it is now. That is to say, a social life founded upon falsehood, not at all on truth. For truth means unity, and society is founded on division. There are people who work out their role, their function, their symbol more or less well. Nobody is faultless, and all is mixed in this world. But he who takes his role seriously, tries to fill it as honestly as possible, may receive inspirations which enable him to play his part a little more truly than an ordinary man. If the teacher who gives marks kept in mind that he was the representative of the divine truth, if he constantly took sufficient trouble to be in tune with the divine's will, as much as this is possible for him, well, that could be a very useful instrument. For the ordinary teacher acts according to his personal preferences, what he does not like, what he likes, etc., and he belongs to the general falsehood. But if at that time of giving marks the teacher tries sincerely to put himself in harmony with a truth deeper than his small narrow consciousness, he may serve as an intermediary of this truth, and as such helps the student to become conscious of this truth within themselves. Our Divine Mother says, instead of letting oneself go into the stream of one's nature, of one's mood, one must constantly keep in mind this kind of feeling that one is a representative of the supreme knowledge, the supreme truth, the supreme law, that one must apply it in the most honest, the most sincere way one can. Then one makes great progress oneself and can make others also progress. And besides, one will be respected and there will be no more indiscipline in the class, for there is in every human being something that recognizes and bows down before true greatness. Even the worst criminals are capable of admiring a noble and disinterested act. Therefore, when children feel in a teacher, in a schoolmaster, this deep aspiration to act according to truth, they listen to you with an obedience which you would not get if one day you were in a good mood and the next day you were not, which is a disastrous for everybody. Question, sweet mother, if one needs 35 years to change one's character, how can one make from now a total surrender to the divine? For this, our divine mother says it may go quicker, all depends on the way that one follows. You remember we spoke once of the attitude of the baby cat and the baby monkey. If you agree to be like a docile baby cat, I have seen like a docile little child, this may go very fast. Note that it is very easy to say, choose the attitude of the baby cat, but it is not easy to do. You must not believe that adopting the attitude of the baby cat lets you off from all your personal effect, because you are not a baby cat, you are a human being and not baby cats. There are in you innumerable elements which are accustomed to trusting only themselves, which want to do their own work, as it is much more difficult to control all these elements than to let oneself go in all circumstances. It is very difficult. First of all, there is always that wonderful work of the mind which likes so much to be observed, criticize, analyze, doubt, try to solve a problem and say, is it good? Wouldn't it be better like this? And so on. So that goes on. And where is the baby cat? For the baby cat does not think. It is free from all this, and hence it is easier for it. Whatever be the way you follow, personal effort is always necessary till the moment of identification. At that moment, all effort drops from you like a worn out robe. You are another person, and what was impossible for you becomes not only possible but indispensable. You cannot do otherwise. You must be attentive, silent, must wait the inner inspiration, not do anything from external reactions. You must be moved by the light that comes from above, constantly, regularly, must act only under the inspiration of that light and nothing else. Never to think, never to question, never to ask, should I do this or that, but to know, to see, to hear, to act with an inner certitude, without questioning, without doubting, because the decision does not come from you, it comes from above. Well, this may come very soon, or one may have to wait perhaps a long time. That depends upon one's previous preparation upon many things. Till then, you must will with persistence, and above all, never lose patience or courage. If necessary, repeat the same thing 1,000 times. Know that perhaps the 1,000th time you would realize the result. Our Divine Mother says, you are not at all of a single piece. Your present body is often an accident. If you have within you a conscious soul which has influenced the formation of your body, you are infinitely better prepared than someone. A soul which falls head foremost into a body without knowing where it is going, in this later case, much hard work is needed to uplift the consciousness which has thus fallen into obscurity. The inner preparation may come from previous lives or from the present life, or you have reached a turning point in your integral growth and you are in just the right relation with the circumstances necessary for the last step to be taken. But this does not mean that you have not lived 1,000 times before reaching this turning point, says our Divine Mother. Question. Sweet Mother, some persons ask, why has not the divine come yet? Because you are not ready. If a little drop makes you sing and dance and scream, what would happen if the whole thing comes down? Therefore, do we say to people we have not a strong and firm and capacious basis in the body and the vital and the mind? Do not pull, meaning do not try to pull at the forces of the divine, but wait in peace and calmness, for they wouldn't be able to bear the descent. But to those who possess the necessary basis and foundation, we say, on the contrary, aspire and draw, for they would be able to receive and yet not be upset by the forces descending from the divine. These words were taken from the question and answers of 1929, quoted by the Divine Mother on 12th Feb 1951. And the child says, sweet Mother, why does the divine force upset people? For this, our Divine Mother says, because it is too strong for them. It is as though you were in the midst of a big cyclone. It happens at times that the wind is so violent that you're not able to stand. You have to lie down and wait till it blows over. Now, the divine forces are 1,000 times stronger than a cyclonic wind. If you do not have in you a very wide receptivity, an extremely solid basis of calmness, of equality of the soul and inner peace, they come and carry you away like a gale and you cannot resist them. It is the same thing with light. Some people get a pain in the eyes when they look at the sun and they're obliged to put on dark glasses because sunlight is too strong for them. But this is merely sunlight. When you're able to look at the supramental light, it appears to you so brilliant that sunlight seems like a black stain in comparison. You must have strong eyes and a solid brain to bear that. One must be well prepared, established in something extremely calm and vast. It is as though one should have a strong basis of tranquility that when the storm passes, when the light comes with a great intensity, one is able to remain immobile and receive what one can without being knocked out. Our Divine Mother says, but there is one being in a million who can do it. Only those who have had a foretaste of inner experience can know what this means. But even if you enter consciously into the psychic, it is dazzling and it is within your reach because it is your own psychic being. And yet, it is so different from your external consciousness that the first time you enter it consciously, it seems to you truly dazzling, something infinitely more brilliant than the most brilliant sunlight. The psychic is what may be called the divine within the reach of man, says our Divine Mother. Question, sweet mother, are there any signs which indicate that this one is ready for the path, especially if one has no spiritual teacher? For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, the most important indication is a perfect equality of soul in all circumstances. It is an absolutely indispensable basis, something very quiet, calm, peaceful, the feeling of a great force, not the quietness that comes from inertia, but the sensation of a concentrated power which keeps you always steady, whatever happens, even in circumstances which may appear to be for you the most terrible in your life. That is the first sign. A second sign, says our Divine Mother, you feel completely imprisoned in your own ordinary normal consciousness. You feel completely imprisoned in your ordinary normal consciousness as in something extremely hard, something suffocating, intolerable, as though you had to pierce a hole in a brass wall. And the torture becomes almost unbearable. It is stifling. There is an inner effort to break through, and you cannot manage to break through. Our Divine Mother says this is also one of the first signs. It means that your inner consciousness has reached a point where its outer mold is too much small for it. The mold of ordinary life, ordinary activities, ordinary relations, all that becomes so small, so petty, you feel within you a force to break all that. There is yet another sign. When you concentrate and have an aspiration, you feel something coming down into you. You receive an answer. Let me repeat. When you concentrate, says our Divine Mother, when you concentrate and have an aspiration, you feel something coming down into you. You receive an answer. You feel a light, a peace, a force coming down almost immediately. You need not have to wait or spend a very long time, nothing, but an inner aspiration, a call, and the answer comes. This also means that the relation has been well established, says our Divine Mother. And Meditations, March 6, 1914, Geneva. After having suffered acutely from their suffering, I turn towards thee, trying to heal it by infusing into it a little of that divine love which is the source of all peace and all happiness. We must not run away from suffering. We must not love and cultivate it either. We must learn how to go deep down into it sufficiently to turn it into a lever powerful enough for us to force open the doors of the eternal consciousness and enter the serenity of Thy unchanging oneness. Surely, this sentimental and physical attachment, which causes an agonizing wrench when bodies are separated, is childish from a certain point of view when we contemplate the impermanence of outer forms and the reality of Thy essential oneness. But on the other hand, is not this attachment, this personal affection, an unconscious effort in man to realize outwardly, as far as possible, that fundamental oneness towards which they always move without even being aware of it? And precisely because of that is not the suffering that separation brings one of the most effective means of transcending this outer consciousness, of replacing this superficial attachment by the integral realization of Thy eternal oneness? This is what I wish for them all. This is what I ardently will for them, and this is why, assured of Thy victory, certain of Thy triumph, I confine their grief to Thee, that by illuminating it, Thou mayest heal it. O Lord, grant that all this beauty of affection and tenderness may be transformed into glorious knowledge. Grant that the best may emerge from everything, and Thy happy peace reign over the earth.